Once you have Camstudio downloaded on your computer, and Mr. Plyler can help you with that, you'll find it over in the Start menu. Should be somewhere around here. Once you click on it, you'll see what I see here. Now I'm actually recording with it as I'm showing you this, but you'll have what's normally a red record button right here. It's just not red right now because I'm recording. You have a pause button here, and this is helpful because you don't have to do your recording all in one sitting. So for example, if you're in the middle of recording and somebody knocks on the door, you can hit pause, deal with whatever's at the door, and then come back and hit pause again, and it will begin the recording again, just like you never stopped. It's also helpful if maybe there's some load time that you need to cut out, or you just need to pause to set something else up for the next part of the video you're making. So pause is a really helpful thing. The stop button right here, you do not want to push until you are done with your video, because once you hit stop, that video has ended. You can go back and make another video, but that video is officially over. Now also, you may want to make this screen look smaller. Right now you see it's this box right here. If you press this button that's next to stop, it will shrink it. I prefer this because then I can just move it out of the way, and if I want to record something online or if I want to record something on my smartboard notebook, then it's out of the way. Now some things you should know once you have this downloaded. First of all, if you click on Options, and then the first thing is Video Options, you want to make sure your numbers match the numbers you see on this screen, particularly these two down here. If I'm not mistaken, this starts at something like 200 or something pretty big like that. That makes the video size really big when we capture that many frames. And honestly, this is about as fast as the eye can see anyway. These are the numbers that Mr. Plyler recommends. In fact, he sometimes does even smaller numbers than this to make the video size smaller. But to make the sizes of your video files manageable, I would recommend changing these two numbers, or even if this one's different, I'd change all three of these numbers to match what you see here. That'll keep the video size in reason. Just so you know, those video things that I just showed you that determine how many frames per second are captured don't affect audio. So audio will be smooth regardless of how many frames per second you're taking as far as the video. The fewer frames you do, the video will look a little less smooth perhaps, but the audio will stay constant. Also, when you do save these files, do not save them on the server. There's just not enough room on our personal share drive. So when you open up my computer on your computer, you would normally go to the equivalent of this, your home drive, and save things. Don't do that. Instead, go to My Documents, and this saves it instead of on the server, saves it on the local computer. Our computers themselves have plenty of storage. It's just our server that doesn't. In fact, if you look at this one, I already have nearly 50 gig worth of videos saved. So the computer itself has plenty, so if you just do it in My Documents, there's plenty. Just don't do it on the server. That comes up per the request of Mr. Plyler, that I remind you of that. Okay, also, one thing I would make sure is clicked. Go to Options, Program Options, and then Play AVA file when the recording stops. I believe when you first download this, it will automatically, when you hit stop and then it renders, it will play the video. If you want it to do that, that's great, you can leave it, but I didn't like that feature, so I made sure I clicked Do Not Play AVI file. That way, when I click stop, it renders the video, and then that's it. It's ready to move on. It's not trying to pop up a video I just did. Also, one other thing that's on this area right here, we've got record, pause, stop, and then this changes the size of our window. But we also have this button right here. If you click this button, it's not going to show up because I am currently recording, but normally right about here, it'll tell you if you're set on recording to an AVI file or a SWF, which is what this button says, file. In fact, if you look down at the bottom, it says toggle mode to record AVI or flash. I would recommend AVI. AVI is more versatile. It works great on YouTube and anything you want to upload to the internet. AVI is going to be a better call. But the one benefit of Flash is that you can embed Flash in your Smart Notebook file. So if you think you want to be embedding some of these in a Smart Notebook file, you might want to try out Flash. Otherwise, I would just recommend you stick with AVI, and that's going to be the best bet.